going to be about a softball and one's going to be about a tennis ball. Your softball size piece is going to be your foot and then the widest point of your body. Okay, so we're going to be throwing a nice tall bowl. So your foot and the widest point of your body. So take your clay, the softball size piece first, because you need to do that one first.
Sounds like a blood, like very blood piece.
I don't know what I would do with journalism in this class.
I love my hands.
Like when you go in slow-mo.
Yeah. It was like, this is forever going to be on this demo.
Okay, so once you get on center, go ahead and make your indentation. Now again, if you're having trouble opening with 2 fingers, hold your fingers on the side at the 9 o'clock position, guide it by your other hand and guide it down.
Wait, what's the other way to open this?
You go straight down. But some people have been struggling with that, so I wanted to show you an alternate route.
Hi, Miss Williams.
So now I'm going to pull open. And remember, I'm making a bowl, so I can go a little bit wider than if I did a cylinder. Hello. All right, now I'm going to start to pull. So I'm going to stay more cylinder-like across the bottom. I'm going to start to move my hands slowly once I get a little bit higher with my clay. I'm going to start to move my hands slowly to the outside to the 3 o'clock position and make it somewhat wider. So this is going to be kind of a cylinder sort of that's coming out at the top. The reason why, this is going to be the bottom part of our composite vase. Give myself one more good pull. I'm just going to make it somewhat wider. Where my fingers are now is going to be the widest point, and then I'm going to straighten up the top and make it nice and straight. So I have a place to put my top piece on.
When we pull, what should the speed be?
Compress your rim. Your speed should be probably going through Newtown around 35 miles an hour.
I don't drive.
Okay, well, slow then.
Okay.
All right, so this can be the bottom of my piece. That's a fine bottom. Make sure that you clean up your base like we've talked about. You can use the wood tool, you can use your finger. Do not leave all that excess clay right there. It's going to be more of a struggle for you later. Put on your sponge. Smooth it off. Okay. Now before this comes off the wheel, you need to measure this with your calipers. These are calipers. They're measuring devices in ceramics. They can tighten so they can hold your point wherever you would like your measurement to be. The one end of the caliper is going to hit the end of my bowl, and the other end is going to hit the other. So this is the width that I'm going to need to open my second piece to, because the second piece is going to go on top. Calipers can go off to the side. They're not going anywhere. Take your bowl off the wheel. Slide that along that river of water. Grab it. Clean up your wheel head, because remember, your wheel head needs to be dry and clean before you do your next piece. Okay? Then you grab your smaller piece of clay. And here we go again. Now we're going to do our top. Alright, so you get on center. Now I'm going to be throwing my top. Now I have to open it to the width of those calipers that I just measured. So I'm going to make my indentation first. Hold my fingers to 9 o'clock. Press straight down. You want to leave a base here, but if you cut through your base, it's not a big deal because you're eventually going to have to cut through it anyway in order to put your one piece on top of the other. So for those of you that have been cutting through pieces, this might be helpful for you. I'm going to move my calipers close, and now I'm going to open. So I'm going to pull towards me. I'm going to actually be pulling nice and wide here. I want to straighten up my walls as I start to pull open, so I don't want there to be an indentation underneath. Check it with my calipers. So I'm just about there, just a little bit more. I need to open this to straighten up my walls a little bit more. I'm going to come out just a little bit wider. Okay. So there we go. So it's going to be the top of my piece. Flatten out your base so you don't go thrown off center. And now you're going to start to pull. My goal is to pull a cylinder. Have the cylinder wide, come in for the neck, and then flare out for the lip. Okay? Yes.
2 questions. What happens if you like over pull out and you like miss?
You can trim some off. You would rather over pull than under pull.
Okay, and then you measure the calipers from the outside of the.
Yes, from the outside edge. So I'm going to pull my cylinder first. I'm kind of angling my hands inward towards the center of the wheel. The reason why I'm doing that is I don't want this to get any wider. The base is going to be the widest point here. So I'm actually pushing more with my outside hand than my inside hand. Get a little drag on my clay. Alrighty. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so now I can form this a bit with my rib. So my rib is rounded on the edge. It looks like it's rounded. So you're going to take the rounded edge of your rib, it's going to go closest towards you, and you're going to press it against the outside walls of your clay. I'm just going to lightly hold the inside of my hand, just kind of resting on the clay here. I'm letting the rib do its job. I'm letting the clay form to the shape of the rib, which is kind of like a C shape. Okay. No need to clean up your base. So now I have my neck and my lip. All right. This is going to come off the wheel. You might want to let this dry a little bit before you take it off the wheel if your base is relatively thin, and you might cut through it so that you don't get any type of warping or wobbling. All right.